Welcome back to the Token Intelligence Show. John, number one, we're both wearing shorts. That's because it's August
so
in
hot.
South Carolina. And
90, 97, I don't know. Feels like
yeah,
97, maybe
yeah,
it's only at 95, but
yeah, that's the humidity.
yeah, right.
But we have an exciting announcement. We are actually going to do our first guest show. And we have a series of guest shows coming up. And we're going to do something interesting with our guests. We're going to ask all of the guests that we have on Token Intelligence the same basic set of questions so that we can see how people use AI, how they think about AI, and how they think AI is going to change the way that the future looks, which will be super interesting.
Yep.
And so after a couple dozen of these, we can identify, trends and opinions from people that we think are interesting and whose opinions we respect. So we started at the Carolina Code Conference, which happened last weekend.
Yep.
I wasn't able to attend, but you were there, and we talked with some really interesting people. The first guest that we had on the show at the conference was Craig Kerstiens. And what's really interesting to me about Craig, a number of things, but multi-time founder with exits at every major step around the same technology. So
Rinse and repeat.
rinse and repeat. Postgres, one of the most popular database projects in the entire world. So he was working on Postgres at Heroku, which is a hosting platform. They sold to Salesforce. His second company that he was part of sold to Microsoft, and then his latest company sold to Snowflake, which is a pretty incredible,
Pretty great run.
incredible run.
Yep. Yeah, I had a blast talking to Craig. One of the things I think you guys will find really interesting on the episode is his team works with their everyday workflow involves software that they've written as desktop apps for their Macs.
Really, they themselves, not like they download from the App Store.
And this is a product team too. These aren't necessarily
Really?
engineers. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a mixed team, but like they're more product.
And are the apps per individual, or are they apps that are built that the team uses?
I think they're customized per individual.
Per
We
individual.
didn't dig super deep into it, but I'm excited for you guys to hear about that and a lot more.
All right, fascinating. Well, we're going to jump into 6 AI questions with Craig Kerstiens.
Yep. Enjoy, everybody. All right. We're here live with Craig Kerstiens at the Carolina Code Conference. Craig, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Let's start out for the people that don't know you. Just tell me a little bit about your background and kind of how you got into Postgres.
Yeah, I sort of stumbled into Postgres, actually. So I originally am from Alabama, came out to California about 20 years ago, was at a big consulting company, went to a small startup. From there, ended up at Heroku. And at Heroku was one of the first product managers there. Actually focused on like launching Python at first.
Oh, cool.
But while there, like we had launched a Postgres service, we're running it, and I found our engineers were just using it like I think DHH famously said, like the database is just like a dumb hash in the sky, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like just put data in, don't think about anything about it. And I accidentally found myself evangelizing, like, why aren't you taking advantage of everything that Postgres can do?
Right.
To our internal engineers.
Right.
And then our the GM of that org was like, hey, you should come do marketing for us. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I don't do marketing. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like ads
Yeah.
and sleazy.
Right.
Like I'm a developer. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I'm a purist. No.
Yeah.
And so there was an opening there to then come run product and do the marketing of that team. I'm like, all right, I'll come run product. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this marketing stuff on the side. Fast forward 5 years, like helped build and grow that team. The tail end of my time at Heroku, we were managing just over 1.5 million databases across all our customers.
Wow. Yeah.
Went from there to Citus Data, which was sharded Postgres.
Yep.
So kind
So
of
it's like Postgres at scale, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like our average customer was 40 terabytes, the largest 960 terabytes.
Okay. Yeah. That's big.
So not quite petabyte, but I like to round up. They were acquired by Microsoft, found myself running all Azure Postgres, and then was ready to kind of just get back to the roots of like running a really good Postgres service and joined Crunchy Data about 6 years ago.
Okay.
We were acquired about a year ago to build the foundation for Snowflake Postgres. So
Yeah.
it's funny. I I've been in Postgres for about 15 years now deeply. I consider myself more of a dev tools guy.
Okay.
So like I can't do it again. Like next time I'm done with Postgres.
Okay.
Done with Postgres.
Yeah.
But it was kind of by accident that I fell into it.
Yeah, that's so interesting. All right. So what is, from your technical background, what's an interest or hobby that you have that maybe would be surprising to people?
It's surprising to people. I don't, I've got young kids, so like hobbies mostly don't exist.
I agree with that.
Like my wine collection's pretty good. There's probably 500 or 600 bottles of wine.
Okay.
So usually when people come over for dinner and bring a bottle of wine, they're like, "Oops, I shouldn't have done that." Like just bring the flowers. That's totally fine.
So funny. Yeah. What's your region? What's your like go-to region? I mean, you're in California, so are you a California wine guy, or is there another region you like better?
I generally also love French wines as well.
Okay.
Italy frustrates me
Okay.
because there's like 500 varietals and they don't follow rules, and it's just like it's a lot of work. Maybe when I retire, I'll get into Italians more just because of sheer work. Being in California, we've got really good wine there, good access to it. But when I'm on the East Coast, like there's better access to like the French and European. So it kind of depends on where I'm at on the pick. It's like French versus, California really.
So if I'm at a kind of a standard grocery store that has a decent wine selection, like how do I pick something that's good? Or can you even without?
I think it's know the basics of what you like, right?
Okay.
Like, do you like Merlot or Cab? Do you like white or Pinot? Like, if you know generally what you like,
right?
I think I maybe wrote a blog post like trying to like demystify. My mom texts me. She's like, "I'm at a store. There's like 50 bottles. Which one?" I'm like, "Okay." Like,
because I assume you can't just pick by price, and you can't. And if you don't know a lot of the labels, like you're not really a connoisseur. Like what? Yeah.
I mean, generally price is an okay. Like, hey,
it's a
decent indicator. Yeah. There's certain wines like a Viognier, like a great white, not like between a Chardonnay and Pinot Gris, but like a nice balance. Like there's not going to be 100 of them there. There's going to be like 5 Viogniers. There's certain like hidden regions like France Gigondas. Like whatever they have is going to be a great value for it.
Okay.
So like it's easy to find a couple of these like hidden ones off the the main path.
Okay. Cool. Nice. All right. So I got some AI questions for you. This is probably my favorite. So if you're at a time travel to 1900, just to set the context, that's like Rockefeller, Carnegie, Steele, Gilded Age, I think is around 1900. Describe AI to someone that lived in that era.
Yeah, I think I'd start with something around just like the basics of automation, right?
Okay.
Like I think about what I have for work today, and it just my senior engineers describe it as like now I have a team of junior engineers, like a team of 10 junior engineers for me. So I mean back then it's like, great, what if you could have 100 kids doing all the work on the farm for you, right?
Sure.
Like I'd have to go back and think a little bit of what kind of things they were automating at that point, right? Because automation still existed in that age.
Right.
It's like, hey, what if you had unlimited automation? Then what else would you be doing?
Right.
And I think it's funny because now we're in this time of like, is AI going to take our jobs?
Right.
But the Industrial Revolution came and we got more productive and we had more jobs.
Right.
It's like, no, we can just get more done now. So really like, if instead of having, 10 kids to run the farm, you had 100 kids, but you didn't have to feed them and raise them.
Right. Which is the hard part. All right. So, what is the most positive impact, that you personally have seen from AI, and then maybe the most negative impact? Could be personally or professionally.
I think the most positive is like, feels like a lot. When I see engineers become AI pilled, like they're having fun again.
Yeah.
Like, I got into this because it was just so fun to build, debug, create things, right? I don't know that the industry felt that way for the last 10 years. We were building software, but just creating things just for the sake of it, for fun, because we can, is kind of a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm also loving how much like back at Heroku, we had this thought of like the idea of personalized software and everyone should be a developer. For an interview question, we had everyone that interviewed at Heroku build an app and deploy it to Heroku. When I say everyone, I mean like HR, like our receptionists, our marketing folks. And they're like, no, I'm not a developer.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you like, this is our, like, I mean, it was almost cult-like, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think now we're at that stage where everyone can be a developer, and we now have personalized software. Most of my team has like individual Mac apps that like review pull requests. Like basically, they manage their work in a personalized Mac app they built.
Yeah.
And instead of standardizing on that, I'm like, no, build your own for your own workload. For me, right? I like have a work in progress Mac app that analyzes all my Slack messages, all my emails, give me a summary of my day heading into my day. Which things do I need to respond to? Like perfectly tailored to how I work. So I think it's both productive and just fun that we're creating new stuff. I mean, you know, my talk was largely written by he was like pulled from my content, largely written by AI, and then I'm like, by the way, I want to play like an ASCII version of Star Wars in Postgres PCSQL.
Yeah.
Do I need to do that? No, but it's fun.
Right.
If it took me 10 hours personally to do it, you know, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
The pain or the heart or the negative, I don't know that I see too many. I think it's like the pace of change, right? Like it's hard to adapt to. We're changing like every few months now, and you've got to get used to it, and change is hard for everyone. I think that's the biggest part is like, if we could go slower, it might be nice, but that's not the reality of the world we're in.
Right. Yeah. That has been one of my personal frustrations of doing all this optimization, because I love optimizing workflow, which has always been one of my passions. So I'll get this workflow that I love and that's optimized, and then like there's a new change, like a new model comes out. Even if you pick an ecosystem, there's still constant change. Even if you picked, I'm going to be in the Codex or Claude or Pi or whatever you want ecosystem, there's still constant change. And I think I've experienced that, like, I just don't want to like re-optimize this today, even though I love it, you know? So, which again, like, and it's a push and pull, because sometimes you can over optimize and you can spend too much time because it's fun or because you're just able to now and you weren't able to. So yeah, I see that. Okay. So kind of moving to the future, like things that you see as far as trends, what's exciting to you if you were to kind of look out, you know, I mean, I don't even, like 5 years even seems like forever at the current pace of change. Look out a few years. What are some things that maybe are a little bit scary, and then what are some things that are exciting to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest meta is like the age of like actual usage of AI in production settings and enterprises is like here now. It's not like, oh, it's coming and we're gonna get there. It's like literally here right now. We had an inflection point, I think, with a lot of the models back in October, November last year, right? It's like, these are good enough. The pace just keeps up. The tooling around them. I think, you know, one is that we're here now. It's like not, oh, what's the future for AGI? I think the other piece is, again, I kind of hit on that, like this age of personalized software. Like, I don't have to share the same dashboard as you. I can easily build my own dashboard in a sheet. We can really curate software to our own liking and usage, which is pretty fascinating. Like, code no one ever said before, like, oh, code's the barrier, right? But like, now it's been proven that it kind of is. Now it's like, no, the fastest we can create ideas and iterate and understand the business, it really, it's a pretty crazy industrial revolution-esque time right now, I think, in terms of software.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, I think the change is so rapid right now. So if we kind of take that same thing and apply it to data, because I was telling you before the show, I've spent most of my career in data, lots of kind of analytics, database related things. And what do you think that looks like? Just from a like, so how would you apply that personalization thing to data? Because we talked a little bit about workflow, but what is it?
Yeah. So I think there's two trends in the data space right now, right, that have changed, and it's not that they weren't present before, but the AI has made those needs way more acute, right? And so, in the data space, it's an age-old problem. You've got like your transactional system, and you've got your analytical system. You've got your system of record, your system of engagement, right? The access patterns are completely different. The way they're designed is different, right? One is a row base where you're inserting single records. The other is I'm scanning all of the orders yesterday and I want to know the report, right?
Right.
Row base, column base, like single point lookup, mass scans and reports, right? Like this is 30-year-old database foundations that have not changed.
Right.
And yet the need is like AI doesn't want stale data. It wants those orders over in the analytical system immediately. Right. It wants to like have that type feedback loop of I make a decision on my analytics systems, it feeds back into my operational system. Like that latency and delay and pain of like, I've got a colleague that jokes like the E in ETL stands for evil.
Yeah. That's funny.
And I love it because it's also a necessary evil. Like you can't be like, no, I don't want to ETL the data between the systems because it's hard and I don't like it. Like, no, you have to do it. Right. You don't have a choice. It sucks. Right. It sucks for everyone.
And it's because you've got two different optimizations, like one for transactional, like working system, and then one for analytics. And so far, we don't quite have that merged, which I think there's some people working on that.
Yeah. So I mean, we, we're working on our own, like what we're calling mirroring, where you can like single button mirror the tables you want in real time from Postgres into Snowflake. Yep. And I was talking with someone the other day that's like, I think I have my like architectural foundation for years to come. Yep. And, another customer that had spent 3 years working on their pipelines for this.
Sure.
3 months working on their pipelines. And they were like about to flip it to production. And I demoed this to them and they're like, I get to delete 3 months of code. I'm like, I feel so bad. You wasted 3 months. They weren't upset at all. They're like, I didn't even know how I was going to manage this. Which
just a few years ago may have been 3 years of code,
Yeah. And so I think so what's that mean? Like before, the business couldn't react fast enough.
Right.
We couldn't make decisions, right?
Right.
We couldn't change the business.
Right.
And with AI and how fast we're able to move now, that's why that matters, I think, more than ever.
Yeah.
And so it's a very foundational piece. It's funny. I've run Postgres for folks for a very long time, and it's kind of a thankless job. It took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah.
As a PM, you go and ask someone if they have feedback about your website, and you're like, I don't like your font. Yeah. I don't like the shape of the button.
Yeah.
You're like, I just wanted to know if you're like package shipped okay. Was all I was asking, right?
Right.
And so, for your transactional system, it's similar. Like, it's like you don't want to, how do you feel about your bank? When's the last time you went into your bank and you're like, thank you for keeping my money safe?
Yeah, exactly.
Now they lose your social security number or, miss a deposit, you're pretty unhappy and you talk to them.
100%.
It's the same thing with your transactional side. Your analytical side is completely different.
Yeah.
But now with the need for these two to kind of unify and tie together, it's really like AI has just accelerated how fast we need to move and react and lowered that tolerance for stale data. Like AI doesn't want to wait a day for those pipelines to run.
Right.
So I think in the data space, it's foundational where AI has just surfaced this need and reduced like the time that we can wait for those kind of decisions.
Yeah, the friction. Yeah. All right. Kind of last question here. What are you can go personal or professional here. What are some tips or tricks that you've seen personally, professionally, and working with AI on a daily basis of things that are easy to miss or things that weren't intuitive to you at first?
I think the biggest thing is that mental mind shift. Like I could do this before and keep doing it the same way, or like, no, I'm going to do it the AI way first. Like, can I do every bit of, like, can I use AI for literally everything that I'm doing?
Right.
Like if I'm doing something, can I do it in an AI way?
Like,
and that, like we talked about, that constant change, it's hard.
Right.
Like I've got my workflow. I've used my workflow for 10 years. I don't want to change it.
Exactly. That's why I got into databases. It was like, I don't want to do front end because it changes too fast. That was one of my actual reasons. It's because the SQL, what you use to query a database with, the evolution of that's slow. It's like tweaks every year, very slow. I picked that on purpose. And now I feel like, what's happening?
Now that's out the window. Yeah, you have no hope now. Yeah, no, it's funny. I feel very similarly about like front end development. I'm like, I don't know what the latest framework is.
Right.
It changes every 6 weeks.
Right.
Postgres is Postgres. It's been the same thing
right.
It's gotten better. It's gotten improvements, but not at the same scale. So, unfortunately, I think it is the reality of what we're in. And the faster people adapt to that and say, you know what, I get it. I'm embracing the change versus fearing it, because, pretending the industrial revolution wasn't going to happen, wasn't reality. Right. And so it's a big shift. I think just personally for people, how much can you willingly embrace that change is the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I agree with the mindset. For me, it's been, I need to try essentially everything with AI first and disprove that it doesn't work versus the opposite. Right. And that's a big shift for a lot of people.
And I think it's retry it again 3 months later.
Yeah. Right. That's the other thing. Yeah. That's a good point. You'll love this. So in setting up for the podcast here, never done really a mobile setup. So we have a Mac Mini that's all set up and ready in our studio. So I had to set everything up on my laptop, which if you've ever messed with AV stuff, the software's awful. Like, it's super hard. It's a big pain. So rather than just tinkering with it, I used AI on all the config and settings, and it had to restart my computer a bunch of times, of course, and enable legacy system, this and that. But it worked. And I'd tried it before and it didn't work 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's just don't make an assumption. I tried this. It doesn't. The pace of change is every few weeks, every few months.
Right.
And I think a lot of people that still, especially in any technical realm, right, even whether it's on the business side or the marketing side, that had an opinion of it, 12 months ago and wrote it off. It's a very, very stale opinion. It feels like it's 10 years old versus a year old.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here, Greg.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
On the next one.